Hello YouTube and welcome. In this video today I'll be showing you a time lapse of the work I've done on this Vauxhall VXR, and as the video goes through you can listen to me tell you about the things that I've done and the tools that I use to make the car different. If you think the video is too long and 12 minutes is too much to give up of your life, you can look in the description of the before and after product. So without further ado, let's begin. So with the beginning, I'm just going to lower the vehicle. That's pretty much what I do with any sort of car. And as I say, I don't think I've ever not lowered a vehicle before. I steal some rims off a Honda S2000. I really love 5-spoke rims more than any other kind of rim. For some reason, it just looks so much sportier and just a lot nicer. So after like an hour and a half, this is finally what I found. I'm very picky about the rims that I use. See, I'm even more picky. I'm going to change the color. So I'm just going to use the colorize tool and actually desaturate the wheels entirely, darken them, and boost the contrast a little bit so they look kind of glossy, because I don't like flat black rims. I like the gloss rims. The European license plate on the front I don't really like. Nothing against Europe, it's just I don't really like the license plate too much going on. So I smooth that off. I'm going to add some eyelids to the headlights to give it more of an aggressive feel, even though the headlamps are already really like raked back. But I like the headlight look with the eyelids. Needs a little bit of cleaning there. I like doing this to the headlights. I like to make the dark spots darker and the bright spots brighter, and that way it just really gives it a nice punch. It just really just makes the headlights look more in your face. And I know a lot of people will just completely black them out entirely, but I don't think that's very realistic, and I like to have my cars look more realistic than anything else. Sometimes over the top, sometimes I go a little bit crazy with it, but not here. Put a little bit of a shadow underneath the lid so that it looks better. I don't usually knock the door handles off, but in this instance I did because I really liked the lines on the side of the car. Thought they looked really nice. So, and here's my favorite intercooler stock. I use this intercooler for every single image I've ever used. Well, not in every single car, but any car that's used an intercooler, I've used this one because it just forms so well to what I need to have get used. So reposition a couple times actually in this. I didn't realize there was a flat black like trim going all the way around until I looked at the car closer. Yeah, that looks nice. Right here I'm selecting a piece of the body panel because I just want to emphasize the brightness on top, so I just did a tiny little dodge, tiny little brightness. And then I'm going to put in a side vent just to emphasize the sidelines even more. I didn't like that kind of side vent, so I thought I'd do a square hole with a piece of chrome trim sticking out of it. I think some Mercedes vehicles have that kind of thing. Can't think of the word. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so I think that looks really nice. I thought about doing like 2 or 3 or like 5 little spikes sticking out of that hole, but I decided against it. I wanted to stay within the grasp of reality. So, and this here, the side skirt, I like side skirts on cars, but I never really know what to do with them. They're the last thing that I ever want to look at because I just, by that point in time, I've already messed with the front bumper and usually everything else with the car. And then the side skirt, I'm like, I don't know. And then I might just take one off another car. But in this, I actually like the way it turned out. I'll go back again in a little bit to smooth out the gap that I added. I smooth off the sidewall and actually change the whole side of the car. I know I said I really like the lines of the car, but not that line. So put a tiny little bit of gloss on there, or reflection. And this is where I use carbon fiber to make myself a splitter on the front. And I really like doing this because I think it just gives the car much more sharpness. Even though it's just a little tiny detail, I think it looks really awesome. Believe it or not, that's a carbon fiber pattern. So that's actually the top part of the carbon fiber splitter, and then I'm going to do the sides. Gotta make sure everything is exact. And then I'm going to rotate the carbon fiber just a little bit, just to make it look like it changes direction, because it does. It might be just a silly detail, but that looks nicer. A little bit of darkening and lightening, or dodging and burning, to give it a little more dimension. And I always put a highlight on my carbon fiber. I'll put just a little bit of a white line and then a little highlight, just a bing right there, just to make it look glossier. And then the cords or wires or whatever these are, I think they look really awesome, but I'm going to add them here, coming out of the front bumper hole gap. Forgot that has to go all the way around the bottom. And then I gotta do one over here as well. That looks really nice, yeah. Yeah, and here's where I said that I would come back to the side skirt and fix this up, because I liked the gap at first, but then I didn't like the gap, because I think I put this down for about a day, and then I came back to it later, which is always a really good thing to do, because then you have a pair of fresh eyes. And I'm going to work on another carbon fiber piece for the side skirt. So I guess if I ever do have trouble with side skirts in the future, I might just put carbon fiber on them, because carbon fiber is awesome. That should be a rule of thumb for anything. If you don't know what to do, just make carbon fiber stuff. Don't know what to have for lunch? Carbon fiber. No, not really. Don't eat that. And then I'm going to work on the sides a little bit of the side skirt a little bit more. And then once I get done with piecing it all together, I'll dodge and burn. Yep, right here. A little bit of lighting, a little bit of darkening. Gotta put the top on. I mudge that up a little bit. And then I highlight. And I just shape it a little bit. Oh, here comes the fun part. I'm going to mask the whole vehicle so I can color the shell of the car. I've done this on so many cars, and I know a lot of people are like, this takes way too long. But I think it's kind of a tedious task, but it's definitely worthwhile if you want to change the whole car. Not the whole car, but the whole color of the car. It's just too bad I can't get somebody else to do it. And gotta get every single little piece. I know some people actually just color the whole image and then erase all the spots that don't have the actual colored part of the car. And I tried to do that one time and I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I just used the path tool just for everything. My path tool is probably my favorite tool in GIMP. And I'm using GIMP 2.8.6. GIMP 2.8 doesn't really matter. I used GIMP 2.6 for a long time, and then 2.8 came out, and I really like it. I don't really enjoy the adjusting the meter system, like if you want to adjust the size of something or the opacity. It just, I don't really like that very much. But other than that, I really like GIMP 2.8. Here's me fiddling with the color of the car a little bit. I actually cut a little bit of the car coloring out. I spent a while looking at that. And then I like chrome gas caps for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I like when it's chrome and then has those rivets in it. I just think that gives it more an aggressive feel. And then the tail light, little bit of recoloring to that. Some people go completely black and white, but I think there's got to be a little bit of red in your tail light. Otherwise, it's not really street legal. So unless you have a red bulb in there. I debated about whether doing this part of the car chrome or black, and I decided to do black instead of chrome. Same thought process here. Did I want to do chrome with a black piece, or did I want to do black with a chrome piece? And black with a chrome piece it was. And for the spoiler, I wanted to do something really cool. I was thinking about, putting a stripe on there like what I'm doing right now. And I zoom out and I look at it and I was like, I don't really like that. Control Z, undo, undo. And then I was like, maybe I'll do it white with a black stripe. Maybe that'll be cool. And then I look at that, step back far away and look at it. Nope. And then I go back and just a black spoiler. Perfect. And then a stripe. I really love these stripes on kinds of cars. Just any kind of car. You could just put super sport stripes on anything. I'd be like, that's cool. You get a super sport stripes on a Yugo, and I would be like, that's awesome. But I usually don't do the asymmetrical look, and doing stripes in GIMP itself on a car is really hard because there's no real line to follow. You kind of just have to say, this is where the stripe goes, because you're not looking at it straight on. So sometimes I've spent way too long working on the stripes. But this one didn't take me that long, which I was happy with. So I did silver stripes with a little bit of a black outline to make it pop out a little bit more. And then I open up a decal stock, and I just grab a few decals, not really any in particular. I don't know if they're actually parts that would work well on the car or whatever, but they fit nice, so. Then I thought about putting the car in widescreen, but the car isn't actually centered in the direct middle of the screen, so I thought it actually took away from the image. And I was working on a different computer, so I didn't have my my basic logo, so I just end up using like Arial or Trebuchet or something like that. So here's the original VXR and the finished product. Thanks for watching. Bye.